CFSJ's inside the box. The workout's designed for tight times and tight spaces. All of our workouts are designed for a space approximately 8 foot by 10 foot. We should be able to get through all of these in about 25 to 45 minutes, depending on how you pause the videos and how much time you spend at each station. Follow along with us, pay attention. We're going to give you some insight as to how these workouts are actually supposed to be completed. So if you follow along with us, you will get better. All right, so if you have access to a rower or a bike, go ahead and use those. We're looking for about 2 minutes of warm-up, but for the rest of us, we're going to do 10 in-place burpees, just simply stepping back, starting light. Use this as a hip stretch as well. Let's go ahead and get jump at the top, slowly starting to build the heart rate up, just getting the blood flowing so that the muscles accommodate. And you're going to go ahead and give me 6 more on your own. Now that our cardio is out of the way, let's focus on the dynamic stretches that are going to get us through today's workout. We've got 4 movements: Spider-Man with a T-spine twist, twisted cross, a cat-cow stretch, and bootstraps to overhead squat. So, starting off, we'll watch Coach Devin demonstrate. Starting from that plank, dropping the elbow down, twisting both into and away from the knee. We're gonna go 5 each side. Transitioning from the plank down into a prone position, arms crossed out. We've got the twisted cross. Bringing that left arm in, providing torque, pushing into the right shoulder for a big stretch in the chest and the bicep. Finishing off with 10 bootstraps. Pulling yourself to the bottom of a squat, grabbing the toes, shoving those elbows into the knees. Keeping a hold of the feet as you lengthen the hamstrings, driving the hips to the sky. Go ahead and give me 10 of those. Today we've got 2 rounds of a core burn. 20 bear crawl stance shoulder taps. You'll see Coach Devin demonstrate by maintaining that tabletop position, hovering the knees roughly an inch off the ground, maintaining hip stability, touching left arm to right shoulder and right arm to left shoulder. 10 taps each arm. From this position, we're gonna go 10 bear rolls. We don't have to do the full bridge as we normally do, just driving that hip all the way around, turning into an opposite position where your back is facing the ground instead of your stomach. And lastly, 5 prone swimmers. You're going to take a Superman hold, face down, sweeping those arms and shoulders out, lats engage, finishing off with hands behind the back. Take 10 seconds to perform a full rep. Now, there are 2 rounds of this. We're gonna go 20 bear crawls, 10 bear rolls, and 5 prone swimmers. Go ahead and set your timer and begin. Today's strength is predominantly lower body. We're going to be balancing out the front half and the back half of the legs between pistol squats and Romanian deadlifts. Now the pistol squat is a single-legged squat, sometimes more challenging than we're up to. So we'll show you a variation at the end that will allow you to access the same movement. But the key concept here is core engagement. Let's look at Devin perform the RX or as prescribed version of this. If you'll notice, his free leg is extended out. He's not drooping, he's not sagging through the chest. He's putting as much focus on core control as he is in moving his body weight with one leg. These 8 to 10 are going to be performed on each leg, so it's quite a bit of volume. All on one leg and then all on the other. Now you'll notice a variation of this where we use a chair. So if you have a chair or a small box accessible, you want to at least get to the point where your knee and your hip are at the same level. Balancing out, we are going to be doing Romanian deadlifts. A little different than the typical deadlift. We're going to keep the hips high, real focus on hamstrings. Doing a lot more back pulling with this. Now, if we look at Coach Devin here, hips are a little higher than normal. Back is flat. Now we're going to put this into a superset of all of these reps, 8 to 10 pistols each leg, plus 10 to 12 Romanian deadlifts, whether you're using a kettlebell, even if it's a light implement, you'll notice a different taxation that should make it a little more challenging than the typical deadlift. We have 4 rounds of this every 3 minutes. Don't go fast. Try to take the entire 3 minutes for this. Now is the time to get your timer ready. Go ahead and set it for 3 minutes. We're going to be doing 4 3-minute rounds. 8 to 10 pistols each leg, 10 to 12 Romanian deadlifts. Today's workout, Pop Rocks, is a 3-round, 4-movement, 4-time workout. It can be done with minimal equipment or no equipment. Our 3 rounds are going to be 15 American kettlebell swings, 20 goblet squats, 25 burpees, and 30 sit-ups. The intention on a workout like this is to go all out. You've got relatively short amounts of movements over short amounts of rounds. This probably will take most people in the neighborhood of about 12 to 15 minutes. Don't try to pace these rounds. Don't try to make them equal. You're going to get the most out of it, and your body will adapt the most by putting yourself in that pain point in each of these rounds. Now, let's go over these movements. The American kettlebell swing could be done with a dumbbell. If your dumbbell or kettlebell is light, I would recommend doing double the number of Russian kettlebell swings or possibly even snatches. But for right now, we're going to take 2 hands on either the kettlebell or the dumbbell, and we're going to make sure that our hips are driving this to where we get this all the way overhead. Moving into the goblet squat, the performance standard is that our hips are going to go below the point of the knees. We're going to focus on keeping the chest upright and the shoulders back. On the burpees, get through them. Let the chest hit the ground, jump overhead. Anything in between those 2 points will be acceptable. Try to pick a variation that allows you to stop the least. And lastly, those sit-ups. Just making sure that we're in a flexed position, whether your knees are butterflied or knees bent straight up. We're going to reach towards the toes on this one, making sure on the back that our shoulders are hitting the ground. If you don't have an ab mat, sometimes taking an extra t-shirt or a towel and rolling it up under the back can serve the same purpose. Let's get situated. Go ahead and get your kettlebell or your dumbbell, a place in which you can do your burpees and your sit-ups. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go ahead and get your playlist in order, and we're going to get going. All right, now that we're situated, let's go ahead and get our timer ready. This is a count up timer. We're doing this for time. The goal is to try to get the shortest time by getting all of this work done. Go ahead and set your playlist, and let's get going. In 3, 2, 1, go.